welcome back to the PrepTalk podcast. I'm your host Vartika Bhandari and we are back with another episode on SAT exams. The episode focuses on SAT math section. We know that SAT holds two sections for math, calculator and non-calculator based in the current format. We are going to learn in depth just about that. So without further delay, let's welcome our guest for today, Akanksha Singh, math faculty at Urela Prep. Hello Akanksha, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Hi Vartika, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good too. We are glad to have you here.
Thank you.
So let's begin with the first question.
Sure.
So what SAT math is all about and what is the content and the structure of the current SAT math and what will we see in the new digital SAT suite?
So SAT math questions draw from four areas of math. Heart of algebra, passport to advanced math, problem solving and data analysis, and additional topics. Currently, there are two math sections, out of which one is yes calculator and another is no calculator. In no calculator, there are 20 questions to be done in 25 minutes. And yes calculator, there are 38 questions to be done in 55 minutes. Two question types, MCQs and grid-ins. And in grid-ins, you do not have any answer choices. And questions are also arranged in chronological order of difficulty. It's rough, but yes. But lately, College Board has announced that paper pencil test will be no more. And it's changing to digital SAT, digital version. Now, what are the main changes? I'm going to talk about that. Main changes to the digital SAT will be the duration. As the test will now be only 2 hours instead of 3. So, for many, the shorter test day will make the SAT less daunting and more approachable. The digital SAT will also be section adaptive, meaning that each section will inform the difficulty of the second section. Despite these changes, SAT will retain its 1600 scoring. Currently, it's the same. And now calculator will also be allowed on the entire math section. And the 4 units that I had mentioned, more or less, will remain the same.
Alright. So do you think there will be a difference in the difficulty level as well as the exam shifts from pen and paper to digital and there is also the calculator thing?
So, there is no official information on that as yet, but we are anticipating that, because the duration has been shortened, so this makes the SAT more approachable, but then difficulty level will remain the same. We are anticipating that, but we have to see that. We have to wait, to see that.
Right. So moving on to our next question, what would you suggest to someone who has a phobia of math?
So, Vartika, first I'll ask, what is phobia of math? It is only an agonizing feeling that students have about their inability to understand math or feelings of unable to do math problems. But you see, SAT math is not conventional math, right? It's actually fun. Why? Because the test allows you to apply certain techniques which would make your math as easy as possible. Of course, you will learn the concepts along the way, but good thing is SAT math prep always starts with basic math prep. So to answer your question, someone with math phobia can also ace SAT math if the prep is happening with the right approach and techniques.
Alright. So talking about acing SAT math, so what are some strategies that discreetly focus on this section and is it possible to attain 800 in the final SAT exam?
Oh, of course. It is very much approachable. And yes, of course, there are many strategies that you can learn. As I just mentioned, SAT math allows you to approach a question non-conventionally and you can use some amazing strategies along the way. One of the reasons is that you're given answer choices. Use those, right? There are a lot of strategies, one of which is elimination and many more. But I'll tell you what is the most essential part of your prep. It is the test analysis. If you're not analyzing your errors and not identifying which area needs most focus, your score will most certainly not improve, right? It will not improve a lot. I will not say it will not improve, but I will say it will not improve a lot. So as you as you learn those nice techniques, do not forget to review your test.
Review is actually important to know where your
course.
lacking is and where you
Yes.
need to work on.
Yes.
True. So, our next question to you is, how are SAT Maths, non-cal and calculator sections different? Is there any greater weightage to any section?
So in creating two distinct math sections on the SAT, the College Board has convinced students that they must prepare separately for no calculator allowed questions and calculator allowed sections. This perception is, however, not correct at all. I follow a simple mantra for no calculator section if we talk about that particular section. And I tell my students the same. Just remember, for no calculator section, close enough is good enough, right? So most of the time it's not important to solve for the exact answer. Sometimes it is a way easier and feasible approach to find the close enough answer, because the answer choices are such. Of course you'll do some approximations there, but that works because there are answer choices like these. Okay, but yes, one thing to note: if you're aiming higher on math, you must have almost 100% accuracy on your no calculator section, almost.
Okay. So, focusing on the difficulty level of both the section, can you throw some light on how the order is of the difficulty level in both the sections?
So yes, there is a chronological order of difficulty in the math section, as I also mentioned in the beginning.
Yeah.
Question number reflects the difficulty level of a question. Okay. First 1/3 questions are supposed to be easier, then next 1/3 medium, and then final 1/3 will be of higher level.
Okay.
But this is how they set the paper, you see. Not everyone has the same level. A question that you think is easy may not be easy for me. A question that I think is easy may not be easy for you. Therefore, I recommend that students must go about each section according to their personal order of difficulty. That would ensure both speed and accuracy, because this is what we are aiming, right? Speed and accuracy.
Right. How different is SAT math from regular math that the students learn in, school academics, and does learning SAT math will help them in their academics as well?
Students preparing for the SAT should know that what kind of math they need to master to earn a higher score, right? So it involves topics covered till 10th grade. Though SAT math problems may seem more challenging due to the phrasing of word problems, understanding what concepts are and are not covered from your high school course will allow you to understand the types of question that will be asked and to solve them more quickly in the test. For example, the largest component of the SAT math, which is about 35 to 40%, is algebra and functions. And the most advanced algebra concepts on the SAT would include quadratic functions, absolute value, inverse direct proportion. These topics a 10th grader would know, right? And knowing concepts is always an advantage. But doing that particular question in a shortest way possible is not something student will learn in their schools, right?
Okay.
So SAT math prep will include learning a lot of strategies on those lines and to save some time. And school math is not up for shortcuts, you see. So both are different, kind of. But the concepts are same.
So talking about preparing for this section, can a student do it themselves if they are conceptually sound, or do you recommend having a tutor to, mentor you for this prep?
As I said, SAT math prep would involve learning certain techniques. I've been mentioning that, right? Since beginning. Because you're time constrained, right? So there has to be a direction in your approach, in your prep. Random practice wouldn't help much. You may be sound with math concepts, but you may not be a good test taker, right? College readiness is what's more important there. So it would include everything, and a little guidance you still would need, I would say. So of course, I recommend whatever you're preparing for, it's not just SAT, for everything in your life. You need some direction in your life.
True.
So when you're preparing for SAT, you need the same. So random practice wouldn't help. You need some guidance for that particular direction.
All right. So Moving on to our next question. Is there any topic differentiation with respect to both the sections? Like, is the syllabus segregated based on this particular topics will come under calculator section and this would come under no calc section?
I mentioned about about the four units in the beginning, right? I will mention again.
Sure.
Heart of Algebra, Passport to Advanced Math, Problem Solving and Data Analysis, and additional topics.
Right.
Questions from problem solving and data analysis are chart based questions, right? And they happen to require calculator. Hence, the questions from this particular unit appear in section 4 only, which is yes calculator, right? So other than that, there is no differentiation as such.
All right. So this would be our last question to you. We would like you to share some tips for our students for the preparation of the section and the exam day.
So when you're preparing for the test, make sure when you complete your course, you take the good amount of tests, right? For you to identify your error logs, you maintain those. Get your tests reviewed. It's very, very important, as I also mentioned. Okay, it is very important that you focus on those areas which your tests would tell you. Okay, where the focus is required. So that, and about the test date, there are no special tips as such. In fact, consider that day a normal working day, because that's how you can keep your anxieties out of the door, right? Just ensure to carry all your required documents, your ID cards, admission ticket, reach on time. Just remember that you're prepared enough for the day because you've taken a lot of tests and you've learned everything, right? So we are assuming that you've done that and then you're taking the test. So just be confident and enjoy the test. That's all.
So with that, we conclude the podcast for today. Thank you so much, Akanksha, for being here.
Thank you very much, Vartika.
So to all the listeners, we hope today's episode was helpful for you. If you like the segment, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel and help other aspirants out by sharing the podcast. If you want to enroll for SAT test prep, the link will be down below for the assistance form. Stay tuned for the next episode and we shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye.